All right, what's going on, everybody? Isaac Fleischer here, and welcome to another iHoopsFL interview. Now, before we begin, make sure you guys give me a follow on Instagram at iHoopsFL. I post all the highlights, all the best clips from any of these interviews I've ever done. So definitely give me a follow on there. And also, if you guys want to see any of the articles I've written for a company down here in South Florida, all that can be found on my Twitter at iHoopsRecruits. So again, Instagram, iHoopsFL for interview stuff, Twitter at iHoopsRecruits for articles and all that good stuff. So anyways, enough about me. Let me bring on our guest right now. What's going on, my guy? How you been?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for asking. Anyways, I said we get right into the interview. So I think your most recent project was that whole the Azzy Fudd documentary kind of thing. I don't know like the exact terminology what you would call that series. However you want to say. So how'd that go for you?
Oh, it's good. We're actually still working on it. We're about to wrap it up. This is something that started probably in like August. It's been good. She's got a great family. AZ just committed to UConn. Spending a lot of time with her family, her teammates. We did some cool stuff already. We went to Minnesota, like a lake cabin. Just filming the girls having fun. I even did the water tubing a little bit.
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my first time. And then, we filmed a couple of tournaments. So we got about 4 episodes left. It's going to be wrapping up. I don't know what I'm going to do after this.
And I remember how they were saying stuff like, because I mean, the summer, like it pretty much got, screwed for everybody with the whole, virus situation. So how was that like? Was it kind of difficult for you too? Like, I guess documenting that, but then like, I'm sure maybe like some of the stuff you may have had planned, like while you were away just working like with them was probably got like scratched. You finding something else to do. Like, how's it dealing with all the uncertainty with a ton of events? Like, I'm sure, like what I was saying before, like I'm sure a tournament may have gotten canceled or stuff like that probably came up. So how are you able to deal with all the changes so many times?
Just had to take a step back, honestly. Like, everyone's going through this. So, try not to just make it about myself. Like, damn, I couldn't do all these projects I wanted to do. Luckily with this AZ project, like it was kind of about like how these young kids are dealing with COVID and how like, not AZ because she's like the GOAT, like she's got every
Yeah.
offer she wants, but like her teammates, like they were looking for those offers like going into their junior or their senior year that you usually get in that AAU circuit. So that's kind of what we've been covering, and it's been cool because like a few of the girls now have actually picked up those offers because of what AZ's family have been able to do. Like one of the girls, Lee Volker, I think she was going to like James Madison, and like because like AZ's team was able to play this summer, like she's going to Duke now. So it's been cool. Like, and for me personally, I mean, I'm just happy. Slam still good.
Yeah.
We're here. I'm still working. Like things are starting to pick up back up a little bit. So yeah, man, just taking a step back.
Yeah, that's crazy you said that because I mean, like James Madison, the Duke. I mean, people would probably like die to get a scholarship from James Madison, so that's kind of crazy with that. But I know. So I asked you like, what's your official like job title? And you told me senior video producer. I mean, I pretty much like barely know it, or I don't know. I don't know what that means. I'm sure a lot of people watching this have no clue what that is. Like, I guess describe your job exactly.
Well, right now I'm working on this project, and I'm just shooting, editing it. Dealing with the parents, not dealing with, but like, just manufacturing everything. But normally, like, I do a lot of the day in the life videos, so kind of like finding out the kids across the country want to film this year. Um, being able to just produce those shoots, like buying the flights out there, setting up the schedule with their parents, booking the hotels, going to the gym, talking to their coaches, their trainers, their parents, the players, finding out more about them. And then, we have these NBA things. I don't really produce those. Like those
Yeah.
are usually come with the Slam magazine. So like my boss is like, hey, we're doing the Miami Heat, like pull up, just get some content. So we'll decide. We have like a team of guys, and like they'll decide like, oh, we should do that point them out with these guys. Or we should just do a regular interview, or if it's just one guy, we'll find like one of our shows that caters to just one athlete. What else do I do?
I mean, it kind of seems like you said anything, everything. I don't know if I'm like, I mean, obviously, like I don't know the job as much as you do, but it seems like I can't think of anything more you would possibly do.
Yeah, I mean, like, when you get a job, man, like, you just got to be versatile. Like, you got to be able to do a bunch of different things. Like, it's hard to say just like one thing I'm doing from day to day. Like, kind of switches every day.
And when you kind of talk about being a producer, like I remembered because I was in TV production in my school. This is my first year, like not in the class. I hated the class, by the way. But like I remember like the producer, kind of handled more of the logistics, I guess, and all that stuff. So I guess what's almost like your ratio, or I guess give me like a percentage between like how much logistic kind of stuff you do, like you mentioned hotels, like flights, like all that stuff, talking to parents, and how much like literal, shooting stuff you do.
I would say like I'm more like 20% like making sure my budget's right, booking stuff, calling people, and 80% of the time I'm either filming or editing, like the stuff I really want to be doing.
Well, I guess like not like I'm sure obviously that stuff takes like a longer time, like being there, like filming the stuff. But I guess in terms of like, do you do I guess all or majority of that kind of like work for whatever your crew and all that stuff? Because if so, like that would kind of make the percentage higher in a way. I guess is what I was trying to ask. Like, is that kind of stuff on you, or is there someone that does the producing stuff to another extent?
Yeah, no, I mean everyone at Slam, like I would say produces in one way or another, whether it's like, Slam Kicks, he's coming up with ideas for shoes and like he's kind of just feeding it to me in the video side. Same with like league fits, high school. Um, so what exactly do you mean? If
Like I guess because at least for your so let's say you're gonna do a day in the life of Sharif Cooper's because I see his head. Like I don't know, like I'm sure like you're not the only one doing that, right? There's probably like a few of you there, or is it just you?
uh, there's a few of us, but for the most part, like I'm setting them up at this point. So like if I can't do it, like I will. We have like a few of our other shooters. I'll call them like, hey, can you do this? This is the player. Like I'll give them a quick little rundown on them. I'll make sure they research them and like learn about the player before they pull up. But I usually facilitate it with the parents, the coaches, making sure they're all right to do it. So I have my hands on most of the high school videos.
Yeah. So I guess if I gave you, let's say obviously this probably never happened, but let's say just because it's the first people I thought of, you, JM, and Lou, all are put together to make Sharif Cooper Day in the life. Would you handle figuring out what hotel and I guess the budget or talking to parents? Would that kind of all fall on you, or would you guys divide that work up?
At this point, it does pretty much all fall on me, just because like I'm handling with the budget, so I'm deciding like where we're staying, how long we're staying, and how much money we're spending.
Yeah. So that's
It's
why if I
getting
was like,
approved by the bosses,
oh wait, what'd you say?
but it's got to get approved by the bosses.
Yeah, for sure.
These things, yeah.
So I guess like with the whole percentages thing, like I'd probably consider that, if anything like 50-50 or depending on how much, filming they do, like that's kind of like, it was, I don't know how to word the question. Obviously, like I'm thinking of it on the spot, but I don't know if you get like the gist of what I'm saying. Like pretty much, you do majority of that stuff, I guess what I was trying to get out of that.
Yeah, but it don't take that long to book a
Yeah,
hotel.
yeah.
Editing takes much longer, so I would still say it's like 80-20. Like,
Yeah, I'm telling you, I hate editing so much. I hate it. Oh my god, it sucks. It sucks. What's your favorite part of if you had to make a video, is your favorite part the shooting or the editing, or what's like your favorite part of all that?
I would say the shooting, just because like I'm actually getting to know the athlete
Yeah.
and the parents, and like that's the fun part. Like the editing's cool. If I'm really into the video, like I can't wait to go back and edit it. But most times I'm like excited to just meet the player and like learn about them and tell their story and hopefully get them more clout.
Yeah, and you mentioned like talking to the parents, all that stuff. I mean, obviously for me, I have to deal with talking to a lot of people. It's been very difficult. I'm sure when you have Slam Magazine like with your name, like probably like extremely easy. But have there been like a lot of difficult circumstances maybe when you just started where like you couldn't get contact with a certain player, or you don't need to say names of the player, but like has it been difficult reaching players or dealing with the parents and all that stuff?
I would say more on like the pro side, like because like you got to deal with the agents and it gets a little murky there because like this is they're a pro now, so like
Yeah.
and they should be getting paid for pretty much everything they're doing. Um, on the high school side, like yeah, it is a luxury to definitely work at Slam because like people are definitely excited when Slam comes call to see their kid. Um, and the parents grew up around the time Slam started, so they know the brand, and it definitely makes it a lot easier. Um, I wouldn't say there's been any like tough situations, honestly. Not on the high school side. On the pro side, it gets a little sticky. College too. NCAA, like forget about it.
Yeah, you're definitely lucky for that. I mean, for me, I feel like dealing with high schoolers like I'm dealing with pros. I mean, that's how difficult it's been.
Well, you just keep grinding and like you build your
Yeah,
rep. People know your name, and like it'll start getting easier. I think.
yeah. I mean, that's what I thought too. But I thought doing this for this long of a time, talking to this many players, started to get myself some respect. But I'm still at like zero pretty much. So it's a little bit. It's starting to get a tad bit frustrating. But like I
Yeah,
just if everyone says keep doing it, then like I just gotta trust their word for it. But I think I'm doing it for just like a decent amount now where I should be somewhere, but it's whatever. It's gotta keep doing it. That's what they say. So I kind of trust their word for it.
you're 16. Like you got plenty of time to. I mean, if you really want it, just keep grinding, man.
Yeah, definitely. It's just man, those players are kind of crazy. But I want to know because obviously I'm sure like making just a mixtape like takes a lot of planning, especially like if you're just ton of effects, maybe like maybe some sound changes or like all that stuff. But when you're kind of making a long video like the ones that you guys put together, just how much planning goes into that?
Mm, for like a day in the life, I mean, I'm different, man. Like I kind of just go in. I come with a lot of confidence, and I'm just like, you can't if you're doing like a day in the life, like you don't want to force anything. Like I tell parents, like this is your day in the life. Like, let's just see what it is. And as like the day's going on, like I'm kind of seeing the video in my head though. So I'm like, we're doing this. Like he just told me this about himself. Like this, and then I'm starting to learn like the angle I want to tell their story. The planning though, like it really is just I try to learn a little bit from the parents in a phone call, like a pre prep phone call, and then I'll meet the athlete, and I like to spend usually the full day with the athlete and then do the interview, and pick up everything I've learned from them that day. You don't always have the luxury to do that, but like it makes the interview a lot more comfortable because first they know you more and you know more about them, so like it just gels a little bit better. But other videos like this AZ series, like you definitely have to plan like 8 episodes. There's a brand involved, so you have to plan what every episode's going to be about, and yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy you said that because I listened to a whole interview with Chris, over there in Canada, and I remember he said like the same thing you said, where you're just kind of just filming the game and then you just kind of get the ideas in your head, and that's kind of how it works. Then you just kind of just do it almost, and that's kind of how you said it too. I thought there'd be like a bigger difference to that. But would you say it's like kind of I guess similar, like making a mixtape and just making a day in the life video, not in terms of like the content itself, but in terms of just like you just kind of do it as you go, almost like go with the flow kind of thing.
I mean, I wouldn't compare them honestly. Like a mixtape, like I mean, it's highlights. You string them together to a song, and you want to feel the video to the song. But like, I guess that's how I look at it with mixtapes. Like if it's a song, like I kind of want to. I don't even know how to explain that, but just like
Yeah, like well, like not in terms of like again, not literal content, just in terms of I guess because people say like all of a sudden like that. Like, this is what I think he said in the interview. Like he's filming a game, and then like he kind of maybe knows the song he wants to do before, and then he's kind of just like comes out with all the stuff like on the spot during the game. And I guess it's kind of what you said too, where you just I don't know, you just kind of do it almost.
yeah, no. Honestly, I should plan more than I do.
Well, I mean the content like you haven't gotten fired, so obviously you're doing something right.
Yeah, no, I'm. I get basketball and I get the athletes, so luckily I'm able to, put together these stories that people like. But yeah.
And I want to bring it back a little bit earlier when you mentioned like giving some guys some clout. I know, like, obviously I don't really have like too much. I can't really give people clout yet. Like, I think I'm the one kind of taking the clout for now, but I've still had like people reach out to me, like even today, like interview this guy. Like, I want to be interviewing these like kids that I'm not saying they're not good. They just don't have like they don't meet my criteria at the moment.
Mhm.
So at least for you, like obviously you're like your Instagram ad doesn't have like slam in the little ad itself. I mean, it's in your bio. Like, do you have to deal with that a lot? Like getting a lot of emails from people with kids that just aren't gonna really get there, but are just like begging and being annoying. And how are you able to handle that stuff?
I mean, ignore. Just kidding. But I don't know. Like, it is unfortunate. Like, even a lot of good players, like they want to get filmed. Like, great players, like 5 stars. But like, Slam is, it's a magazine. So like,
Yeah, but for that you just kind of say like
we're doing the
for that you could even say like I know you're. I mean, if a 5 star reached out to me, and I guess Slam itself, unless this is illegal, but if Slam itself said like no, you can't, like we don't want I guess his coverage and having our followers, I'll be like, like you could just do it for yourself personally, unless it's like illegal. I don't know the exact guidelines, but I mean technically that could always be like I always find like a loophole. Like I tell all the guys, which like I genuinely like think this is fair, and like it's not like just to make them shut up. I say like we go IG live and do a mini interview on there, and that's what I tell them. Like I don't know if like you guys are able to do that or something like that.
mm, we could. I mean, I think we could, but
Well, what do we? It would technically just be like yourself personally, because that's what they want. But they probably want that slam logo thrown on there, though.
yeah. I mean, like, I do the work, but like the Slam is like, you know, I don't want to say that is me, but like it
Yeah,
definitely carries like the work I do. It's why people mainly would want to work with me.
yeah. Like all due respect for you, like if you weren't working for Slam, and I just saw like your stuff, I probably wouldn't bother reaching out. I'm gonna be real for with you, unless like you made a big name by yourself personally, but then obviously you'd have to have like it always starts with the brand. There's nobody I can't think of names of like videographers where it's just their name. Like they all kind of have some brand.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're gonna be the media and you want all these people to want you, like you're gonna have to offer them something. So yeah. So about there are ways around that, like just to get hired by like a brand to film these guys, but like yeah, it is tough.
Yeah, but I guess like a lot of people that are kind of solo, like it is still self branding. Like none of their Instagram acts are just their straight up name. Like they give themselves a nickname or something. Like nobody, and they all have their logo. Like there's no really, like Isaac Fleischer, and that's it. Like not even Isaac Fleischer Tates or something like that. Just my straight like that wouldn't really work. Like no one would want that, no matter how good it is, really.
Yeah. That's not true. I mean, if it's a
Yeah,
good,
I mean, I guess if it was good, like
tape,
maybe, but
if it's a good tape, people will post it. But like, just to like have people like invite you into their home and really get to know you, like, they're gonna want. I think they're gonna want some kind of brand behind you. But like for like Instagram stuff, even YouTube videos, like if you do good work, like and you have some kind of brand, that like, people will take that.
yeah, like you have to make a brand for like you I feel like you can't make yourself the brand. You have to make a brand for yourself if you're independent. I don't know if that makes sense.
I think it makes a little sense.
Yeah, all right. I'm glad I'm starting to be a little bit more clear. But anyways, I didn't scroll all the way down to the beginning of the Slam YouTube channel to see like if this was original or not. But are you like who comes up with those ideas like the point amounts and all that stuff? Is that did you create that or have you created anything that like we see today that's your idea or was it all just kind of something you continued on from the past?
Um, I thought I created like the page thing. We did a show with Paige Beckers.
Oh yeah, I'm saying like in terms of like a like almost like a mini game or like one of those things, not like the creation of a show.
I didn't make any of those games. Shout out to like Arvin, Franklin, like those guys. So I think those are the guys. I think those are the two that came up with those games. They have their meetings where it's like, yeah, we have the Raptors. What are we gonna do with them? And the point amounts a hit. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, honestly, all I gotta do is be behind the camera for that and press record. But like, those are some of the fun issues because these dudes are so funny. Uh, I think the first one we did was with like a lot of those high school kids at our
Yeah.
first Slam Summer Classic. It's like I think it's got like 1 million views or more now.
Yeah, I think I may have watched that one. I think I probably
Yeah,
did.
but yeah, I come up with more like the long form, like reality stuff. Um, that's me. Like those shows, I think it's more like our social guys, our other producers.
And in terms of like those like pointing out stuff and a lot, like is it kind of legal in terms of just all the media in general for someone to like take that idea? Like, of course, like if someone asked, like, is this idea original? The person said no. Like, is that fine? But let's say I made a video and I did like or like maybe give it a different name. Like if someone asked me like, is this idea original? I'll be like, no. But like, would I guess is that kind of like a bad thing in the media industry? Because I like because I'm kind of considering doing stuff like that, but I guess like would I need to put like credits to Slam or have to go searching on who created the literal like game of it? Is that kind of what's best to do, or is this idea something that's kind of like everyone can do it?
I don't know the legality of it. If you do like an idea, I would recommend just like putting your own twist on it, like switching it up a little bit. Like you
Yeah,
definitely.
well, that's why I try to be as original as possible. Like, I mean, if you ever do your research on like interviewers, like me, you'll see like this is different from any other content out there, and that's why I try. I gotta make sure it's just somewhat different, even though nothing's original. Like, I gotta make sure like I have just somewhat originality, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you don't want to bite something completely. Like you might get in trouble, honestly, but even if you don't, like I still don't think it's a good look. So, but if you can draw inspiration from an idea, switch it up a little bit, like find a way to put your own twist to it, then I think that's fair game.
And in terms of that, wait, or not? Is it? Here's the last name. It's Paige and what? Becker is how do you say your last name? Becker. I did watch that whole like every episode. I think pretty sure I watched them all. You said like what do you mean you created that? Like was that your idea to do a whole series on her or what? I guess how are you able to create that whole show?
We got to start from the beginning, and like we did just like our original day in the life with her, and I just came away so impressed that I came back. I was like, yo, like boss, like we got to put her on the cover. Like I think like she'd be like a great candidate like for another high school kid. And then like and they approved it, and then I was like, like they're trying to win a national championship. Like she's number one. Like it could be a good idea to just do a series, follow their team around. So that was pretty much it. And then at that point, I just had to like write up a deck and like pitch it to the bosses. But everyone was pretty much on board.
Yeah, and the team was good too. But wait, unless I'm like having a brain fart, but was that like the very first like a series Slam made?
Very first series. I mean, like I think the Day in the Life is technically a series for us, like Slam Day in the Life, but like different like this. It's point 'em out. Like, is that?
Well, or no, like I guess I'm saying in terms of like a documentary kind of thing. Was that the first one?
I could be wrong, but I think so.
Yeah, I think it is too, honestly. So I mean that's actually, but see that's what I'm saying in terms of the ideas. Like you're not the first one to do a whole thing on a team like that. I guess. So
yeah, I mean that is I mean that's not really like such a specific idea. That's just like following a team around. Like those are always going to be pretty different just based on the team. Like I wouldn't even know it's like a documentary series. That's fair game, I think. I don't think like that's necessarily biting anyone unless you have like the same episode structure and the same like mood and themes. Like then you can kind of tell if you're biting someone. But
and actually like sticking to those kind of like series and stuff. I'm sorry for mentioning this, but like when I watch like a ball is like because I'm not just only gonna watch Slam just because I've talked to people from Slam. Like I'm gonna watch everything. I'm just as much as a fan as any other person my age. So when I watch like a Ball is Life, Day in Life thing, they got like Kiki and all that stuff, like their own personality, kind of doing it that way. But then I know you guys, like, there's no really like a Slam personality when you have those Day in the Lives. But they're still just as entertaining. Like I watch every single one. I'm not like bored, even though there's no personality on there. besides like the player? How are you able to make them so entertaining when there's no personality?
First, get good athletes, great athletes, and then I would I'm not the personality on camera, but you hear me a lot of times
Yeah,
behind.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know, I'm just there talking to them, like asking them questions like randomly throughout workouts, car rides, um, when they're at home in their rooms, just like keep finding things that I know are entertaining or I know are interesting about them, or that I know people would want to know about them, and hopefully they answer them, and hopefully it's a good answer.
And since those questions are like, like, do you tell them like I'm gonna ask you a few questions like just randomly, or do you just kind of ask it in the moment? And has it ever been like awkward where you asked a question and maybe they're like working out, like they don't even hear you or something like that? Has that ever happened?
Sometimes they don't hear you, but like there's been moments where I've asked a question and like they might answer it, but they're like, don't put that in the video, like stuff
Yeah.
like.
What's your opinion when that happens? Because see, for me, like you saw, I sent you those questions because I don't want to ask a question. Obviously, like follow-up questions happen. Like if the person says no, I'm like, whatever. This wasn't planned, but you see, like I send you the list of questions because I don't want that to ever happen to me. Like, and if it did, like I'd be pretty embarrassed. So when that like does happen to you, I mean, how do you kind of deal with that?
I just use my best judgment and like I don't want to ever make an athlete look bad. Like you'll know like some answers like ooh like you shouldn't say that. So like
Yeah, I'm saying, like, isn't it kind of like embarrassing for you? Like maybe ask something that you shouldn't have said or something like that. Isn't that embarrassing at all?
it's hard for me to get embarrassed, man. I mean, unless they like, I've never been like son, but like if somebody like, I might be a little embarrassed, or I might feel like, ooh, like if it's like a pro and you said something, like you don't want that to get back to like an agent that gets back to your boss, and like. But no, to answer your question, I don't think I've ever been embarrassed after I asked the question.
Yeah, yeah, that pretty much was a good answer to the question, but I'm sure you kind of touched on it already. And just because you've done so much, like I don't want you to give me one, unless you just have like one straight up. But can you maybe tell me like a few of your favorite videos and stuff you ever made?
A few of the favorite videos I've made. I would say definitely the Miami Heat point him out, just because that was so funny. Like,
That was
dude,
I remember what they said about like the whole swimming thing. That was funny.
like the hood tendencies.
Yeah, that was funny. I remember that.
Some of the best stuff I don't even get to see. Like the Miami Heat people was like, nah, like take that out. Um, the Slam Summer Classic 2 movie thing that I made, with help from Eli and Sean. Some of the day in the lives. The first Page Backers one, that one was really dope. The first AZ Fudd one was really dope. Oh man, some of the stuff I just filmed this week was really dope too. With
But you can't say any of that, right?
I think I can. We were with Isaac Okoro on draft night.
Oh wow. Oh wait, like you were there like on his draft night?
Yeah, you can see me for like a half second on the TV.
Man, that's wait. Why do I feel like I did? I think I might have saw. No, there's no way I saw you, but I think I did now.
I was the worst dressed one on TV. You might.
Actually, I just realized there's no way I saw you. You have like a twin because I realized that was a basketball practice when he got drafted. So there's no way I saw him, but yeah,
Yeah,
that,
Atlanta, like Sharif Cooper and his dad. That was really cool. We did like with the day in the life, but then like him and his dad played 1-on-1. That shit was hilarious. His dad's the GOAT for real. Omar Cooper. What other videos are really fun?
wait, isn't his brother named Omar too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's like Omar Cooper Jr., I'm assuming.
I think I just learned that not every, I don't know if it's true for every Cooper, but definitely Omar, and then Sharif Omar, and then Taya Omari. So I think all of them have a version of Omar. I don't know about their other sister, but definitely those three have a version of Omar in their name. I'm trying to think what other videos have been really fun. Let me just look at the YouTube real quick.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, the stuff you're mentioning, like I've watched. I mean, this is why like I wanted to do like an interview with you so bad, like just because in terms of like I love basketball as much as the next guy, but if I see a slam day in the life or some sort of day in the life on who made it on YouTube, Like that's gonna be the first video I watched, first thing I recommended. Like I just like love day in the life, like it's nobody's business. I mean, I just love watching those.
I love making them, bro. LaMelo Ball at the Ball Mansion.
Oh yeah, that was man. That like how is it? I just can't like you were so you like you were there, right?
It was pretty surreal, dude. Like I used to have a picture of like in my old job, like a picture of LeVar next to Coach K and Floyd Mayweather. I was always into like the Ball family, so when I pulled up to the crib, it was like surreal. Honestly, I was like, damn, like this is definitely what I wanted to be doing. And then LeVar was hilarious. Melo was cool. I got in the car. I got in Melo's G wagon. He's going like 100 through LA, racing his dad.
That's
RJ Hampton and his dad. That was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, his dad seems like a character.
Yeah, he's one of the. I think he's probably the funniest basketball dad up there next to LeVar.
And Julian Newman's dad probably too.
Definitely interesting cat too. Yeah, and then
yeah. I mean,
like, a lot of them are fun, honestly. There.
Yeah, like for me too. Like I've really loved every single slam day in the life. But the stuff you're mentioning, like I've watched them all, but I don't remember like half of them. Not because like, it was like not rememberable. There's so many of them. Like I don't even remember the people's names I've interviewed before. Like
going to Duke to see Zion, that was fire. Zion's a real good dude.
Yeah, he does seem like a nice guy. Like I'm sure, like obviously, he's not going to respond to everyone's DM because like he's famous, but like he just seems like just watching him on camera, like one of those like super nice players where you think them being like a #1 draft picker. Wait, was he #1? He went #1, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. So like being like a #1 draft pick and like NBA now. I mean like Jim's packed to see him. Like you would think he's kind of a word I can't say, but I mean he just seems like such a nice guy on camera.
He was, and off camera. That might answer your embarrassing question. One time I asked him what he was listening to, and he was like, Jay-Z. I was like, but it's 2020. And he was like, what do you mean? And like, Jay-Z will never get old. I was like, no, like, Lil Baby gonna.
I mean, that's like, I respect, like, there's those people out there like that. I mean, I feel like guys like I know people listen like Kanye, like all like the old stuff, or not old, but like I even consider Kanye kind of old school now a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's still making new records, but like his best stuff is definitely
yeah,
pretty a little older.
Yeah, like if you're a Kanye fan, you're not really listening to the newer stuff.
Not really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you kind of give me a Kanye fan vibe. I don't know if you are one, but you kind of have that look to you.
I actually just looked at like my most listened to. He's got like 16 hours this year. That's a healthy amount of listen to music. My roommate loves Kanye, so like that's his. Both my roommates love Kanye, so they're always bumping some Ye.
Okay, wait, you're not in college though, are you?
No, I'm grown now.
Yeah, I was gonna make sure because I like that'd be pretty cool. But if you were like,
rent is different though. Like you got, unless you really got it, you're probably gonna have some roommates. Just Jersey, New York rent.
Yeah, I was gonna imagine being in college, like going to a normal school, and then like every weekend, like you got like LeVar Ball's house and like going back to school like a normal student, and no one knows like what like people like what do you do over the weekend? Oh, I was at the Ball Mansion. Like,
well, it wasn't as lucrative, but at my first job, like I was still an intern, but like they were flying me everywhere. So I was like calling my like whatever class I was taking, like, hey, like can't make it today. I gotta go to Miami or like.
Yeah, that's just so crazy.
Yeah, it happens quick, man. Like one day you don't know what you're doing, the next day like you don't know what you're doing tomorrow, like.
Yeah, but it's what people. I mean, it's like that's like the rock star lifestyle right there. Is traveling all over the place. Like that's what they say. That's what kind of everyone wants until they kind of have. Like I'm sure it does get annoying traveling. Like even like I remember like before I went to high school, like with the basketball team, like I used to love game day my freshman year. Then all of a sudden, like my sophomore year, we had like 3 straight weeks where we had 3 straight games, and I'm like, don't want another game. Like I was getting so tired. Like the long days, it was is pretty bad.
Yeah, especially with flights. Like the more I fly, the more I get scared of flying. Like if I've flown like 4 times in 2 weeks, like that fourth flight, like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that because that's just like scary in general. But I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wait, I know like JM didn't go to college. Even though it's not bad. Like he's killing it right now. But did you end up going to college or like drop out? Because I mean, obviously, like you're like like you could easily like not go if someone said like if you don't go to college, like you're gonna be doing this, like fine. Like did you end up like sticking it out like with school and all that stuff?
Nah, I went to college. I went to college. I graduated. Yeah, it was part of the journey. I didn't know what I wanted to do up until I was like maybe like what year? Maybe 23. So like like they say, not everyone's journey is the same. Like you, like you're already talking about like I'm not getting any clout, but like you're only 16, dude. Like you have so much time to really like hammer it home if you just keep grinding, like stick to it. Like I, I got nothing. I know people always bash college. I got nothing against college. Like college helped
Well,
me.
no, nothing wrong with college, but just kind of like I feel like I just wanted to know because if I was traveling all over the place and
Mhm.
handling college, like I wouldn't be able to do it. Like literally, like this, it's so difficult with me, doing these interviews because this stuff. It's like even though I could work on my own hours, which is nice, like instead of having a job where it's like you got to be here at this time, like I could be flexible in terms of that stuff. But it's almost like I could turn this into a 24-hour job, like because you have to do because obviously like I'm not gonna like make every player be on their phone 24 hours for the rest of their life so I could like get immediate responses. So you kind of have to wait sometimes, and it's like it never ends, and it's like difficult balancing out school and like hard classes with doing this stuff on top of like everything else too. So that's why I feel like if I was in college, like I don't know how I'd be able to handle, and that's why like I mean I want to go to college. Like I think college is great for now. I was never experienced it, but it's not like bashing college, just more like how much more stressful that would be doing like what you do today on top of getting a college degree.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do this like while being in college. Like I'd have to, do it more on a part-time basis. But yeah, it's probably a decision you should make before you go to college. Like, do I want to keep chasing this and do this full time, or do I want to go to school? Because like, if you're gonna go to school, like you're paying a lot of money, so you're gonna want to handle your business there. Like,
Yeah, well, actually, I have a whole plan for everything already because I'm a manager for my school's basketball team. So I do, I'm not like the producer, but I just handle like whatever they need me to do. I pretty much, I just do it. Like clean up sweat, got it. Like organize our jerseys, like got it. Like rebound for this guy, like okay, like I just pretty much do whatever. I'm like the right hand man for everybody. Also, when I go to college, like I'm hoping to do the same thing there. And then what I want to do, because my big advantage for me is like obviously we kind of have a little bit of an age difference, but most of the guys, like I'm 16, the guy I'm interviewing may be 16. That's like a big advantage for myself. So when I go to college, when I'm a manager or traveling, hopefully I could interview, some of the guys on my team, some of the guys on the opponent's team, and like almost go like as I get older, just like I guess go with the guys, So when I'm in college, do college stuff. And when I'm like graduating from college, I still am in the mood to do this stuff. I'll do like NBA players and pros or something like that. That's kind of my plan for now.
it's a good plan.
Yeah, just like the close in age difference or the closest in age is such like a big advantage.
Yeah, just I think one thing, like just once you hit 18 and you're in college, like you're a man. So just like
Yeah, I heard that's what my chemistry teacher said last year. So like once you turn 18, like well, she said like your body changes. Like you said like your mind is like completely different. Is what she said.
not even just that, just like know that yourself. Like when you talk to people, like don't let them think like you're just some kid like who's talking to them. Like you're a man, they're a man, and like like
Yeah, but see, same thing, like man to man, kid to kid, like it's exactly same thing.
yeah. Yeah, and even when you talk to kids, like when you're an adult, like and like that's one thing I do with the kids. Like I don't treat them like kids. Like I've seen some producers. Like,
It's not you treat them like kids. It's more like them treating you like an adult. Like, what are you gonna get the better content out of? A guy talking to like a high school player talking to a teenager, or a high school player talking to a man, like the teenager, because they're just it's like talking to one of their friends. Even though you definitely create that atmosphere with them, which we'll definitely talk about later.
yeah,
Yeah, but that's why I guess that's why I feel like it's like a big like the big advantage, because like I see like these, you know, men doing Instagram lives with like kids that I interviewed. Like it's just no offense to like all the grown men out there, but it's just some bad content.
Yeah, you got to definitely find a balance, like being like an adult, like talking to a kid, like. But I mean, I just try to be me most of the time, and me, you know, I'm able to communicate with kids and adults like kind of the same way. You definitely got to switch it up some things,
Yeah.
but yeah, just be
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be sticking to me myself. Like, I don't know if you're one of these people. Like, my mom says, I have the maturity of a 5-year-old. Like, so I don't know if that's kind of what makes it easy for you too, unless you are just mature and you're kind of just, I don't know.
I don't think anyone would describe me as mature, honestly.
Yeah, that's what my mom said. I literally have the, like, should maybe like a bowl, like on the ground. I'll pick it up, like, put it on my head and just walk around the house and wear it all day. That's what
As
I'll do.
long as you handle your business when it's time to handle your business, like you're gonna be all right.
Exactly. Like, you know, when I'm in school, no, even when I'm in school, I'm like just making jokes. Like every teacher, we're online school, my camera's off. Every teacher knows my name. Like that's kind of how I am.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. And just sticking to your journey now. When was like your big break? Unless like it just kind of like wasn't happening, but I'm sure like you had just some big, you know, event or some big opportunity that just kind of just changed your life, you know, in this industry.
Hmm. Wow, that's a good question. My big break. Hopefully, I haven't had it yet. First of all,
Oh yeah, definitely. Well,
hopefully,
I mean, what you're like, I can't think of anything more than what you're doing unless like you just do this all for the NBA, pretty much, because you're like, the stuff you said, like that sounds like the top almost.
I wouldn't say it's the top.
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean, yeah, like
it
I
depends what
don't
you
know the
want.
industry that well, like as much as you probably. So I'm sure there's, you know, a lot better in terms of what you want to do. But I
Yeah.
guess like what I guess got you to where you are today, like besides working for Slam, like what was that one big thing where you kind of started getting a lot of respect from people and all that stuff?
Do you mean just at Slam or like for me in general?
Yeah, like I guess like for yourself in general, like was it, you know, maybe some tournament you went to, made a few mixes, and then like, you know, a lot of people
Oh,
finding out about you, like.
if you want to talk basketball, it was probably the first Slam Summer Classic. But that's where I really got to know a lot of the top players. Kind of where I found like I guess my groove. Like ever since then, I feel like I was probably at Slam for like maybe like 6, 7 months up to that point. But after that, like, you know, I really started seeing like the kind of videos I wanted to be doing and what was working for our channel. And like started like you know, just becoming boys with a lot of the players. Then after that, like we started doing a lot of the day in the lives. A lot of my mixtapes hit like too from that event.
Yeah, I saw. I think didn't you make one for John Morant? Like you posted on his Twitter, maybe? Because I saw you posted one of him like on your Instagram. And
Oh, all Jaws, maybe except one. I think like all Jaws mixes from this year I did, which
yeah,
was
I think I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I reposted or like I guess I think I retweeted that mixtape on my Twitter. Like I saw it and I'm like, oh, like this is tough. I retweeted it.
I don't know about Twitter, but all this stuff on his Instagram, like his personal Instagram page, I don't know if they're still there. People would be deleting, archiving, but like that was dope. Like I made pretty much all his mixtapes his rookie year, which I loved because like people in the league don't really post mixtapes. So I love that John
Yeah,
Morant.
they don't.
Yeah, I love that John Morant went to the league and was like, "Fuck it, I'm still posting my mixtapes." Like,
What is, does he know you're the one making them, or is he just like kind of get them from like almost like talking to Slam personally, and they're like, here mixtape, or do you or like does he know you, and do you guys like does he know like you're the one making his mixtapes?
I think he knows me. Like he texts me. I don't know if he knows who he's texting, but like he pretty much hits me all the time, like whenever he needs.
Like he like so he's DM like your account or texted like your personal number, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, so you know he knows who you are, not like personally, like
Well, I've met him a few times, but you know he meets a lot of people. I mean, I'm sure he'd recognize me because I have met him like a couple of times now. But yeah, he. It was actually funny. Like I was gonna hang out with my girlfriend. I was gonna like stay at her house or whatever, and John Moran texted me. He's like, "Yo, I'm about to win Rookie of the Year. Like, I need a mixtape." I was like, "Damn, babe. Like, I can't. I gotta go work on this John Moran video. Think this is the Rookie of the Year. Like, what do you want me to do?"
and you know you're talking like a girlfriend. I don't know if I get like personal, but I know like my mom tells me this, like when you're doing stuff like what you're doing, like it's kind of hard to, like have a girl and all that stuff. Just cause you like just what you said, like sorry, John Moran, is he making a mixtape? But like just how like is it difficult to find a girl that kind of gets like, oh, I understand, like it's John Morant, like go do your mixtape, or like is it like whatever I was saying, like is it hard to find a girl like that, or do like a lot of people like understand, like this is for an NBA player that just texts my boyfriend, like I'll let him do his thing.
Yeah, no, it's probably hard, like, like, but she's trying to be a doctor, so like she's working harder than I am even. She's always studying, reading. So like she definitely gets it. Even today I was supposed to see her and she said like, "Oh, I'm caught up at work all day. Like tomorrow's probably better." So, hopefully you got a girl who's busy and understanding.
Yeah, so I guess almost the move is like just find a girl that's not like a bum, pretty much, like one that like wants to do something with their life. That's pretty much.
Yeah, like same with girls to guys. Like find someone.
Yeah.
If you're busy, like you probably want them to be busy too.
Yeah, for sure. And anyways, like so you talk about how like Slam Summer Classic thing was a big thing for you. How you got into your groove, like in terms of content. And I wonder, like, have you ever made a video before? Like, made a whole video and then have it like not get posted or just like deleted it? Like, have you ever made a whole project and have it like, got rejected or just wasn't like good enough for Slam?
Yes, but not because of me, because of the player.
I mean, like you need to like the reason, but just like when that happens, I mean, what's your like has that ever happened to you when you just started off? Like some of the beginning stuff that was kind of getting like turned down, or
well, they won't like turn it down. They'll just tell you to rework it, like remake it.
Oh no, I'm not even saying like remake it. I'm saying like no, we're not gonna do anything with this. Like, have you ever had like a wasted project? I guess like anything that's just gone,
I have, but like it wasn't my fault, so I didn't like take it personally. But like I have wasted time making a video that never got published, but like my check still cleared that week, so like I wasn't tripping.
Yeah, I guess when getting paid is different. Like, see, for me, like I've had to delete some interviews before where they've been like over hour-long interviews. Not just something. I mean, technically because I asked the question, they answer, but like it's just kind of something the player said, sparked a question, then I asked it, and they said something that I mean, technically they could have said like, "Sorry, like I'm not gonna answer this question for you," but I said, they gave the answer. Then it's like, yeah, something you did, someone like the guy said this, he wasn't supposed to say it. At least maybe because I'm not getting paid, I'm like mad. Like that gets me like upset sometimes. I just waste all that time. Like could have interviewed someone else, so I interviewed you, and I have to delete the whole interview. So yeah, I was trying to see like how you kind of deal with that in a way.
I think probably I wouldn't know how to do it, but maybe get like some sort of agreement before you go into a video. So why did they make you delete it?
Well, it was one like, well, I'm not going to say what the kid said because I kind of get him in trouble, but pretty much like wherever we're just talking, and all of a sudden, like I asked him like, how was it able to happen for you? And he explained like, what happened. And then I guess coach saw it and he was like, yeah, he wasn't allowed to say this. You got to delete it.
Oh, so you deleted it off of YouTube?
Wait, what'd you say?
So you deleted it off of like it was already posted and then you had to delete it?
Well, it's because like my interview stuff, like we're live on YouTube right now. So like once I press like on the broadcast, like it's up on YouTube. I don't need to upload it or anything like that. So that's why. And actually, one of them though, this one pissed me off. And now the guy's like just ghosting me now. I had to redo this kid's interview twice because his face wasn't in the camera enough for his dad. And I guess his dad wanted his face in the camera more. And we had to redo the interview twice. And now he's ghosting me, and we're never gonna do a third one. So that was a little bit annoying. But I haven't deleted that one though, just because like the stuff he said was so good. Like he's like buddies with like Kobe White. He said some like good stuff about that. So there's no way I'm taking that down. But
Kobe, that's my guy.
Yeah. Oh, that's I haven't been able to post it though. But yeah, that was definitely one of the more.
Yeah, I mean, maybe do something where like you can chop it up before it gets posted forever.
I mean, it's not it's not possible.
You can't download this?
So I did, and then I was like just went on iMovie real quick, and I tried like like getting like half of it, like 2 clips, like the first half till he says it, then the rest of it. But then it said like to upload on YouTube because I think you can export from iMovie to YouTube, and it said like to upload from YouTube like a 15-minute video or longer or something like that, or like I don't know, like a 10-minute video or longer, like you need to be verified on YouTube. I'm not even trying to get verified on YouTube ever. So yeah, I'll probably have to redo that one. That's what it said.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess that would be my best advice. Just find a way to do it. So, or like if they didn't like, because that happens a lot of times in my interviews. Like people say, like especially kids say stuff like they definitely shouldn't say. So like a live interview, it's definitely risky. So maybe do something where like maybe still do it live, but try to find a way to be able to like splice it up. Like I even like to send my videos to kids and their parents before they go up. Like, hey, like, you comfortable with everything? You like this?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like the main person, like unless like a coach sees it, it was only because this one kid, like he was kind of a special case. Well, both of them, like there's parents where I guess very involved with it. Majority of them, I'm sure majority of my interviews, the kids said stuff where maybe, if their coach out, they'd be like, oh, there's no way we want this out there. But just like these two, like their dad was really involved with him, and like the coach is really involved, and that's kind of why those were the tough ones. But some it's just kind of like they live their own life and it doesn't really matter.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it just kind of depends on who I'm dealing with. But anyways, can you kind of talk about how you got the opportunity working for Slam?
LinkedIn. Like people ask me that. Really? I just saw it on LinkedIn. I applied, and Adam Figman called me. I think that same night or maybe the next day, and had one interview. I thought it went like okay. Like I was like, damn, I really want this job. Like it was only okay. So at the end of it, I was like, hey, like let me prove myself to you. Like let me do some work for you. And he was like, yeah, yeah. So he didn't have anything set at the moment, but like mad random, like on a Friday, like 5 o'clock, I get a call from Franklin. He's like, hey, this is Franklin. Like Adam gave me your number. Tomorrow we're doing a commitment video. Like we need to film it and we need to edit it by Monday. We need to film it Saturday, edit it by Monday. And I was like, yeah, let's do this. I'll do the opportunity. They paid me for it too, which was cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, that Saturday we went to. It was Moses Brown. He went to UCLA. Went and did the commitment video. And then yeah, all Sunday, Saturday night, I was just up editing it. And it was kind of crazy because like I was still working at this other job, and I had to be at like a live stream shoot Monday, and like, but I'm making changes to the video on set, like on my laptop Monday, and like send it to Slam, and they liked it. And then they wanted me to do one other video, which was like DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis. It was just like an edit. I didn't film it. And the edit came out well, and yeah, that same night. Oh no! So I did the edit first. Did the edit first, it was cool, and then they wanted me to shoot.
Okay.
After like the commitment was published and it was like kind of successful, they offered me the job like that same night or the next day. So,
yeah. No offense to you, but like I think you have like the most basic or nothing like the most unexciting story on how you got like a job with Slam. Like everyone else, like I just went to this event, like right place, right time. They saw me, I talked to them, like this and that. But you were like, oh, I was on LinkedIn and I applied. Like that's you usually have probably the most, unless there's more out there. But like I think JM, like I forgot what happened with him. I remember like he turned down somebody, then like kind of realized like, oh, maybe let me like hop on this, and I was do networking. I forgot what happened with WW. Same with, and then I think Jay kind of same thing, like right place, right time, like saw a person, talked to them, whatever. Now, I know Chris was like, I think he was talking to JM at an event, like picking his brain about like how to, make certain stuff like look nice. And that's kind of how he got the job. You really said like I was on LinkedIn and apply. Like that's just crazy.
If you're looking for a job, look at LinkedIn every day. Like everything's on LinkedIn. It's a lot of shit on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I mean obviously like I'm not really trying to find a job but that's definitely like I wouldn't expect like I mean I'm not familiar with LinkedIn at all, but I thought it's more like a not big name brand like that kind of app of like I don't know, like I don't have a LinkedIn, so I have no idea, but I know it's like that.
I would make one.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't really like do like the connecting and stuff and like talking to people, but I definitely browse like the job section, and like recruiters will hit you up on LinkedIn too. Um, it's definitely a good source, and it was like a little different than like all those guys. Like those guys were all getting hired on the mixtape scene. I was getting hired more about like the
yeah,
corporate side. So I was like I think I was the first full time videographer editor at Slam. So yeah, I guess they just posted it on LinkedIn.
yeah. It definitely is pretty cool. And when you like you said like I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Like when did you find out you wanted to be in the filming industry?
It was so I had just transferred to my college, William Patterson in New Jersey. Just like bouncing around colleges, and I made my major journalism for some reason, but like I don't really like read like that or write. So but like they put me in, so I thought I could learn it, and like this would be my way to work in sports because that's what I wanted to do. I always wanted to work in sports, but then they put me in just like one of those like technology intensive, they called it. Like if you want to get your journalism, you have to take this one technology class, and it was video production and editing. Honestly, like first day, I was like, oh, okay, like I get this. Like I'm actually interested in this. Like so I kept taking the class with my man Al Clark, the teacher, the professor, and he kind of got me right, like teaching me like how to use the camera, learn like all the basics of the camera. I didn't really learn too much of it in college though. Like college it was our course was pretty basic, but like it helped me get my internship, and that's pretty much where I learned everything.
Yeah, it definitely is pretty. That's kind of crazy. Like for me, like I hate the editing, like all that stuff. But I was able to learn how to like write articles. Like it literally just came like I remember like I started writing for this company, and then all of a sudden like like I started seeing like them editing it was like less and less. Like it's like once you do it, at least for me, like I don't know if it's gonna make myself look bad, but I see like other people too. Like there's like a formula to writing certain articles. Like you literally just kind of you can literally make a template and just plug in the names and the quotes, and that's almost how it works. So I'm sure it can even be the same thing for making a video too, but obviously you should like make them different. But that's kind of my opinion on articles. That's crazy how like we're almost opposites. Like you somehow got into the video stuff. What do you want to do articles? Like I wanted to do like the video side of things and then started writing instead.
Yeah, no, that is the total opposite. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm not gonna lie, like I hope this isn't anything offensive anyway. But like when I think of someone, just based off like my school's TV production kids, all respect to them, even though none of them are gonna watch it. They're not the coolest of the people in the school. But obviously, you're hanging around these athletes, like they obviously, they mess with you, all that stuff. It seems like you have a great relationship with them. Like, how have you been able to build such a great relationship with athletes, like being the guy behind the camera where I'm sure even at their schools too, like all the guys probably weirdos are in like, their TV production stuff at their school. So how are you able to kind of be that cool guy behind camera instead of the weirdo behind camera?
I think it's just how I grew up. Like all my boys in high school were like star running backs, star receivers, basketball players, and I guess I've always just been into the culture too. Like I just get it, I guess, and I get the kids too. Like I have two little brothers, and I genuinely like the stuff that like I like the rap music they listen to. I like Fortnite. Like I like all the I like a lot of the stuff the kids like. Um, but yeah, I think growing up like with the people who were my friends, I think like that helps me deal well with the athletes and kind of get them and like it's because my friends were all great athletes. Not at the level these guys are, but I think that's helped me relate. But I know what you're saying with the production side. Like that's a lot of the reason why I avoided like filmmaking. Like it wasn't like I didn't really fit in with a lot of
But
those.
you're kind of doing that, like you're making like documentaries, kind of, aren't you doing it?
Yeah, but I do it on like a smaller, like I'm not like on a film set with like, like gaffs, scripts, and I do work with these people, but these people like once they get to they are kind of snobby in college. Like I know what you're saying. Like
No, 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 not snobby, like, or unless snobby is weird, but I'm saying like, like weird people, like they don't like, what the players like, because my
yeah,
they're cool is, like a basketball player, the rap music, the shoes, like, all the stuff I like, even though I'm kind of weird myself, I'm just into the cool stuff somehow, but it's more like that stuff, if that makes sense, not like snobby, unless I don't know what snobby means.
not yeah, they're just like a little like like this is my
They're not,
film.
they're not yeah, they're not our interpretation of cool, like maybe something a good song for them is gonna be like Bohemian Rhapsody, and like a good song for me is like I kind of like I gotta think of a good song. I don't know, like give me like a favorite rapper, and I'll say like a random song.
Gonna
Yeah, fine. Oh, so fine. So like a good song for them is Bohemian Rhapsody, but a good song for us like Drip Too Hard, something like that.
love that song. Uh, yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm sure I understand exactly what you're saying, but like when you get to a professional level, like you're gonna have to work with a lot of these people. But like as long as you know what you're talking about, like your relationship's gonna be fine. Like you don't need to be best friends with the guy who's lighting your set.
Yeah, it's more just like, I'm sure like if the guy lighting your set's like weird and you're cool and you like switch roles, I'm sure the player's still gonna be friends with you lighting the set than the guy, on the camera. I guess like would you maybe say, at least in terms of maybe the sports kind of field of things where, is the more interactive content, or maybe you're going to games making mixes, or doing a day in the life, not like, when you're ESPN staying on the side of the field holding a camera. Now that's not too interactive, but in terms of more like interactive stuff where you're more closer to the players, would you say like being able to relate to them is such a big key to success? Because I'm sure there's people out there that can make content 1,000 times better than you, and they're probably working for like something like just a local news station,
Yeah.
that instead of living the life you're living.
No, I think it's most of it. I think it's like let's say like half. Like half is knowing how. Half is pressing record, which I haven't done sometimes. And then yeah, and then editing, and then making sure you have a great look, a good looking shot. But like with these day in the lives, like it's really about what you capture, like because anybody can go and do an interview, and not just do a regular interview and just film them doing slow motion 3 pointers. But like the stuff that I feel like our people, like our fans, like is like
The stuff that's not about basketball. That's
a lot about that. Like
I love the stuff away from that. Anything you do that's not like basketball,
yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so I would say that's most of it. Like being able to relate, like getting them comfortable enough to like give you content that the average, filmmaker can't get. Like it's everything.
And like it's got like literally everyone makes mixtapes too. I mean, like JM's like a cool. I mean, the guy like where he's like obsessed with working out pretty much. I guess all he
Yeah.
like on his snap. And I mean, like Jake too. Like I think his profile pictures like Lil Uzi or something like that. They're just all cool dudes. No matter like is anybody like on the sports thing like what I said. They're just all cool pretty much. Like they could be as cool as a player. Like none of them are weirdos. I think unless like
Yeah, I think it's an advantage, like just to be able to relate to the hoopers for sure.
and have you been able to get them like you said like kind of getting them to understand like they kind of open up to you more I guess and get that better content. But how are you kind of able to break that barrier? Like is it ever awkward the first time like meeting someone? Like I feel
Mm,
like now I feel more comfortable talking to you, but in the beginning of the interview like I kind of have to ease up a little bit, kind of feel
yeah.
like the person. Like how are you able to break that barrier?
That's a good question, man. Sometimes I like to like just go in, like not even start shooting right away, like just talk to them a little bit, get to know them, and then like once I see like they're starting to like open up, I'll start like I'll turn on my camera and like, start asking them some questions. Like, luckily, like I feel like after like I said that slam game, like the players started to know me a little bit more.
Yeah.
They all kind of like you know I wouldn't say they all knew my name, but like
They were happy to be there. Like they were probably like,
yeah, man, it really just like I guess it's just my personality. Like I'm just able to talk to people like and get stuff out of them. Like I've always been someone like oh I can tell you anything. Like I don't know, people feel
yeah,
comfortable talking to me. I guess.
yeah. I've definitely had that. Luckily, people have told me that before. But obviously, when you're when you're live on anything that goes out to the internet, you can't say anything. But I've had like like a few insight stuff I've gotten off the camera, which has definitely been some of the cooler things for sure that I've gotten from players. Definitely.
Yeah, I would recommend like actually like spend like 10 minutes maybe just talking to them like.
That's what I did. That's why, and actually now I kind of make it a goal of mine because I also do my best like time doing this. There's this guy RJ Keen. I don't know if you saw. He went like viral for committing with the mask on.
Hmm.
Um, so I did one with him, and we literally spent like usually the interviews are half an hour for players. Like you guys like take longer. Like you guys just talk more. Like the people in the media and the coaches like they just talk a ton. So that's why it's kind of long. But we talked like half an hour off camera. Like that was like I wish I had that thing recorded just for myself. Like I couldn't get over how good that was. Like that was just unbelievable. So I make it a goal before every interview to have some sort of conversation before I press go live usually.
That's a good idea, dude.
And like sticking to those conversations, I mean, how are you able to like? I feel like you got like you. At least for me, I'm like a planner. Like how are you able to make it natural? Like, I'm sure you say what's up, and they probably say like good or chilling. Like, do you kind of plan out your small talk sometimes?
I would say so. Like I try to learn something about a player. So if I know they just had a tournament in Arizona, I'm like, yo, how'd you do in the tournament? Like, how'd you play? Like, or yeah, I would say I plan out a little bit, but not too much. But I definitely take like a couple, maybe an hour or so just to learn about the player. Even like you can like look up a player's like local news articles.
Yeah, I mean, all I do to figure out the person is go on their Instagram and just scroll through, and that's kind of how I figure out who the person is. Like that's like I don't need to like search up anything. I just look through their Instagram, see
Yeah.
anything interesting, look what they're tagged in, and that's what I go. Pretty much, you could let's say my interviews are just questioning people about their Instagram feed. And that's what you can say it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm wondering, even though you did say like a lot of players, I guess are more excited or they kind of, they want to do it now, I guess, since, Slam's like a big name, they probably understand like this is like legit, nothing really too sketchy. But have you ever had a player where they just couldn't, they just couldn't really open up? Like there was kind of, those one word answers, like not really a big personality, or does Slam just look for those guys where they kind of fit the criteria where they could be on camera and be fine with it? Because I've talked to guys where they just, they just can't kind of find their groove and they just can't talk pretty much. So
Yeah, no, I've definitely filmed a few of those. It's a little different for you because you're doing just straight up interviews for them. Like for me, like if you're not like a good speaker, you don't have much to say. Like I try to use like their parents or their coach to really hype them up and like do the best you can. But we definitely do target more. Either you're a great player or a great personality or both, ideally. So we do try to target guys that we
they're gonna do like they're not gonna give you those one word answers or be like camera shy the whole time. It's kind of what you're looking for.
yeah, you would hope. That's why I try to do like older players, like the younger guys. Like it's always cool, like the grade eighth grader, the freshman, but like
I feel like those people. I feel like the younger kids. I feel like are more open to do it almost because they're growing up in that age where it's all it's all cloud, all social media. Like I'm sure like the 2023 guys have a lot more followers, which they do than the 2022 people. I feel like those younger people just want to do it more. Like all the 8-year-olds probably follow like overtime and all that stuff. Like I don't know. I think the younger people is gonna get easier.
yeah, but like they just don't like they don't like they're just so young. Like, they don't even know how to like, talk yet. Sometimes, right? Like if that makes sense, but.
Like, do you need them to talk professionally and like, or they can't just talk again normally like they would to a friend?
But I think like some kids can't like express themselves, like say exactly what they mean or what they want to say on camera, or like enunciate. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh man, I have this. Yeah, yeah. I get what you mean. Like, I wish I could say like names right now. That'd be so mean. But I had like one interview like probably a month ago. It was just like I just couldn't get the kid to like. Oh my god, it was terrible. I'm like embarrassed by it, but there was nothing. I was just trying so hard the whole time. Oh man, that was not a fun one. So that's why like I try to get takeaways from these for myself. Like I want to know like what do you do when there's someone difficult to talk to? But I mean when you're a brand like Slam, I guess you don't really need a like anybody that has an offer pretty much like I'll do them with them. Like I kind of got to be more open. I can't just strive for a 5 star because it's not really the level I'm at. So but I guess when you're a Slam, like it's kind of easier. You can just kind of pick like whoever you want, and you don't really need to run into that difficulty that much.
yeah, it's a blessing for sure, man. Yeah, definitely. I don't know.
Yeah, and look at the picture behind us. When I used to do this stuff and put on this app called Sportscaster, I mean that was the banner I picked. Not, I mean not the photo with you in it, obviously, but from that whole shoot and all that stuff, like just sitting and reflecting, like just how does it feel knowing? I mean, the players you associate yourself with, like the people that follow you on Instagram, John Morant hitting you up, like just all these famous people where like the average person cannot imagine themselves like just talking to one out of all those people. Like they probably never had a chance to do that, but you're talking to like celebrities every day. Just how does that feel? Just pretty much do that for a living.
Uh, it's cool. I mean, I try not to look at it like that. Like,
Well, because I mean, technically, like you're kind of one too now. Like after you associate yourself with so many, like even for me too. Like I used to think like these players are like these like big time people, but then once you kind of like interview a few of them, then you kind of realize like it's kind of normal. But
yeah,
before you do it for so long, like I'm sure if you were looking at what you're doing in the past, you would have been like, I'm talking to all these celebrities, even though today you're thinking it's kind of normal.
yeah, yeah. Uh, what exactly is your like? How does it feel?
Yeah, yeah.
It's cool, like like, but it almost like I just want to see them all be great now too. So it's almost like it gets real in college and in
Yeah.
the pros and like all these kids that like them all, like they're all dope, like they're all good kids and like. But it's cool to know. It's cool to have their name. Like sometimes I look through my phone and I'm like, what the hell? Like, how's this guy? Like this guy's name's on my phone. Like,
Yeah.
so it is cool. Some you have closer relationships with others. Like, not every guy you film like you have a tight relationship. Like out of those three, like probably Josh. Like Josh is really my dude.
Yeah, he's like all respect to him, but I guess he was my favorite basketball player in like high school for a while. And then I kind of changed it up, but yeah,
No,
I used to mess with him a lot.
people know him like I mean, they know he's a good basketball player, but like and his personality, but like he's real underrated. Like in these mock drafts now, like that kid
But he was top, wasn't he like top 10?
he was. But like if you look at these, I mean, not underrated in the grand scheme, but like in these mock drafts, like you see him like in the 20s, but like
I mean personally I think 20s. Like I don't know who he's going up against, but remember like he's in college. Like then you got to throw in the seniors. Then maybe a few guys from out of the country. Like,
but I just think he's that. Like I think he's like if you look at like who just went number one, Anthony Edwards. Like
yeah.
I mean that's almost Josh. Like so like I think like I wouldn't be surprised if his name is like top 5-ish this year. Like
Yeah, I don't think I'd be surprised either. At least myself a couple months ago, I wouldn't be surprised. But have you ever like even for me again, if I do end up going to hoops giving, like if I happen to interview Mikey, like I'm sure during it, I don't think I'll be nervous, honestly. Like I'll just kind of do it. But then after the fact, I'll probably like run and scream. Like I'll just be so excited. Like, did you ever have that moment, or do you almost treat it like I guess maybe because the kids or they were younger than you, it wasn't too crazy, but was that ever something you have to do, like just not getting starstruck anymore? Because I still can't get over like when I see a guy get an offer, I just can't get over that I talked to this person. Like
I wouldn't say I can't get over that I talk to this person, but some players I meet and they're just like so good and like that
oh
I'm
yeah, that's happened to me too. I'll never. Oh my god, that's crazy.
like back to Paige. Like when I first saw Paige, I was like, whoa, like she's like a game changer. Like there's not. And then just recently happened again with DJ Wagner. Wow, that kid is different. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he's like the number one pick whenever his time comes. Like I'm like, oh man, like that. Like sometimes it just like I don't want to say blows me away, but like I can't stop talking about it. Like days later, I was like this kid is so good. Like Paige is so good. Like Brandon Boston. When I first saw him, I was like,
I think he's amazing.
yeah, I saw him the first time at USA camp. And I'm like, oh, it was actually at John with John. I was like, who's this kid? Like, he's like, oh, it's BJ Boston. I was, look, though he's only ranked 15. I'm like,
Only ranked, bro. Yeah, I thought also things like I have super, I guess, just because I'm so bad at basketball and like I was never friends with the athletes. Like now, I guess I am. I'm still not like tight with all the guys in my school, but like I'm the manager of my school's basketball team, so they all follow me, like talk to them every day. But it's because like I didn't grow up like an athlete. I wasn't like friends with all these like sports players. So for me, like, and because I suck, like my expectations for a good basketball player are low. Like I feel like walk-ons on a D1 team, like they can really hoop. Like they're
yeah,
really. So for me, like a player like ranked like top, like I guess if a player's like 250th and has like a few high major offers, like I'm just like blown away by that. Like I have super low expectations, I guess, for a good basketball player.
yeah. It's like the slam thing. Like I'm not trying to be like bougie about it, but slam is
Yeah,
like
like once you see enough good basketball players, then you could realize like who's really good.
yeah. We focus on the top of the top.
Yeah.
So to me, like I see a great player and he's ranked 15. I'm like, he definitely needs to be like. I even told Paul Biancardi when I saw him, I was like, dude, you're sleeping.
Yeah, what were you not like scared? Like I'd be like scared out of my mind until like I know someone that makes the rankings for
Yeah, he was
sports. Like I don't know, I'd be kind of scared to tell them like your rankings are kind of inaccurate. Like
I didn't know him and he didn't like me telling him that, but like I told myself, like, if I see Paul, like I'm telling like, dude, you need to get BJ's ranking up. Like but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just want to see him be number 1, number 5, whatever.
yeah. Wait, so he was he like mad when you told him that?
He said some slick comment like along the lines of like, you want to tell me how else I should do my job?
Oh, right. So I guess for you, since like you're not really in the same like I guess you guys are in the same industry, but at the same time, you're doing different stuff than he is. Like I'm sure it was not big of a deal, but were you like that you weren't like crap? Like I should not have done that. Like you weren't at all.
I don't get that shit. No.
Yeah, bro. I'd be like, especially because I think a lot. Like oh my god, I wouldn't be able. I'd be thinking about that like all night. I'd be like, what did I just do? That'd be terrible.
Nah, I mean, like respect to him. Like he does the ranking. That's a great gig, but like, I mean, it's impossible for anyone to see all the players. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just giving my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, from my like rankings, I made my own rankings before. It's so opinionated. Like unless you have a whole committee, but if you have a whole committee, like there's no way you're gonna agree on rankings. Like with all those players, like there's so many combinations. Like I don't know, it's just so opinionated. Like I think they should just do it. They shouldn't do number 1. They should maybe do like list of 5 stars, list of 4 stars, and not make them in order. Maybe could be a better idea.
Maybe you should do it.
Maybe I should. I don't know. I have to consider doing that in the future. But sticking to the future, my final question for you is like, where are you trying to like be in the future? Are you trying to stick with slam, like make it a whole big career? Or are you trying to, I don't know, go to like Hollywood one day? I mean, where do you see yourself?
I think I definitely want to stick in sports and probably in basketball. And it's a good question, man. Like, cause I got to this point and like it was kind of like a dream, like to be with all these guys. So I am still kind of figuring out exactly what's the next step.
I mean, I guess because like unless I don't know how well this provides for you, like financially, like I guess if that does, and I mean if it's getting you enough bread, you might as well stick with it. But I'm saying like if this isn't I could live my whole life off this job, and live in like a decent sized house, like kids, like unless you don't want to do that. But I guess like that's what I'm trying to say. Is this a good like is the job you have now almost a stopping point job, or is like there something bigger that you're trying to get to out of this?
I think I hopefully hopefully I can be with Slam for like a long time and do this. And, you know, like they take care of me. Like I'm not like struggling or anything like that. But you know, like definitely like got to keep leveling up. Like I'm only 28, so you know, hopefully whether it's with Slam or not, like I'm definitely not like content with anything. Like
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable. Like I'm still trying to, and it could be like maybe I'm like I don't know. I don't know exactly like which angle I would take, but let's just say like I want to stick to basketball.
Yeah, like I know, like I mean, you said level up, but you don't really know, I guess, what you're trying to level up to. Like you just know there's something better out there, and hopefully, like you get it. Or do you know like any bigger positions? Like I don't know, maybe eventually working like for the little NBA. Like I don't know if that's what you mean.
Um, no, I don't think I'd want to work for the NBA, honestly. Like,
It was like an example. Like do you know like what that level up is that you're kind of talking about, or just
I
are
mean,
you out there?
it definitely like, mm, do I know what that is? Yeah, it's more like, you know, maybe doing like higher end productions. But I honestly don't even know if I want to do that because I could have been doing that if I would have stayed at my old job. But I wanted to be more like in that like one man crew type thing. Like, so this is kind of ideal for me right now. So I'm kind of just enjoying it and doing it and trying to do my best. But like I know like maybe my own company, my you know, I don't know, but I definitely like even more than the NBA stuff. I enjoy working with the kids and like helping put them on. And Slam's a good spot to do that. I can't really give you a good answer on that, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like I know like it's not a good thing to be satisfied, but it seems like I guess you just like where you're at right now, which is definitely a good thing. And I don't know if this would be a good option, but I guess the one thing moving up I think of right now is, I mean, director of Slam. Is what I'm kind of something I came up with.
You heard the man Slam, maybe.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll tell you what. Like Slam, they let me do like not anything I want, but like you know, as long as I keep like
Well, because once you do like make good content for a amount of time, like they're gonna trust you and let you do whatever. It's kind of how it
exactly.
works for everything. Like they don't need to baby you anymore. Like you've proven yourself already.
Yeah, and it's bigger than just like the videos. Like you know, having those relationships with players, like those will come back around like when they're pros and we can do more stuff with them and they feel comfortable. So yeah, I mean, you know, it might be here for a long time. Like, I don't want to say I'm leaving on camera,
Yeah.
but I got no plans to leave as of now. Just
Well,
yeah, I would say keep leveling in the company. It's hard to say because like I mean, this position I have now, I kind of created for myself. So like I'm kind of like it's hard to say it just because like I don't know what I might create for myself at Slam in the future, but like definitely in this lane.
yeah, it definitely sounds that sounds like super cool. Like I've never spoke like again, like you're not satisfied, but like I ever talked to someone where like they're just kind of just so like they just like where they're at, I guess at the moment. Like, that's probably such a good feeling to have, honestly. Like I just feel like I could just like go to bed every day and just be like not like proud of myself, like I'm proud of what I've done so far, but just like a little more satisfied, like not I guess anxious for the next day to do something else. Like
Yeah,
it's
I remember those nights, like falling asleep, like not having a clue what I wanted to do. Or,
you're not having a clue, just like just knowing like you're not there yet. Like he's got to push through another day, I guess.
yeah, but I'm definitely like you know I'm not like as stressed about it, but I do in the back of my mind know like you know like you will eventually have to level up, move up, or you'll level down.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess like literally, like I can't. Like, of course, again, there is better, but the stuff that you're doing, like you really can't get, like you can't get much better than I feel like the life you have right now. Like, I'm assuming like did Slam even give you that for free?
The hoodie?
Yeah, yeah. See, like I mean, that's something expensive. Like that's expensive stuff. Like imagine having like a ton of stuff from Slam. Like I don't want to work for a company just for like their gear. Like, that's like kind of expensive clothing almost. Like I mean, you get like the nice clothing, like you're traveling all around the country, like all these like famous slash future famous people. Like you can't get much better than that.
It's a blessing, but it is like a almost like a young man's job. Like eventually,
Yeah.
it's a blessing, man. Shout out to Slam. Slam. I can't thank them enough for the opportunities and how they've changed my life. But yeah.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, like you mentioned, the whole like Isaac Okoro draft night thing. Like, do you know like what your plans for the season? Like, what sorts of guys you're thinking about making like a day in the life for, or
Mm,
like anything that you haven't like done yet that's gonna come out, like stuff that you haven't done.
I really want. I've been wanting to see honestly Jaden Hardy for a year now. Like we've had plans before, but they've gotten next. I've never done anything with Mikey. I mean, that could be cool. Um, who else is coming up right now? Man, we've done so many of them already. Like,
Yeah. There's some. I guess like the one thing you could do now. Well, maybe like a 2024 guy. I don't know who's
like
elite.
the younger guys, like Keontae George. Like he looks like
Oh
a
yeah. But I think of Jake Slam. I mean, Jake Slam was like. I mean, you think of Jake Slam, you think of George almost.
Yeah. Just
Yeah, I can't even think. Like, maybe. What if you did something like Bronny James? You think that would ever happen?
I don't know. That's like LeBron and
Yeah. What if that happened? Like, and you got to do something for Bronny. Like, let's say you saw LeBron. Have you ever seen LeBron like close up before or no?
no.
Yeah. So let's say you did.
I've seen them in a game. Like in the game, I've never been like.
Yeah. But let's say you did that, and then let's say maybe you just had the opportunity just to walk past. Like, let's say maybe LeBron was in the same gym as you, like a high school gym, for that thing like for Bronny or something like that. I mean, do with all celebrities, but then there's LeBron. Would that be something you maybe be a little bit crazy about, or are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I was in the same gym, but if like I got to go to like his crib or something and like actually like work with him, I mean that would be monumental in my life. Like I've gotten to do Curry.
Yeah. I mean, that was I saw
KD.
ones too. I saw some of that.
Yeah, but like LeBron, that's the man. So like that would be different. Um, that would be really different.
Yeah, for sure. But anyways, before we get in the interview, is there anything you want to plug or anybody you want to shout out?
Shout out to Isaac, man, for having me on tonight. This has been fun, man. Just keep grinding, bro. It seems like you have an idea of what you want to do. So
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't want to do this for a living. This is a hobby. I'm kind of doing it like this can sound kind of bad, but I'm just doing it for like the clout and just talk to players. Like I like talking, so that's kind of why I'm doing it. I did want to do this stuff for a living, but I realized like it's not worth it. So
what do you want to do?
I for now, well, now I even have a completely different plan, but I'm trying to be a coach. So when I go to college, like manager, then like, graduate assistant, coach. While I'm a graduate assistant, maybe I'll get like a law degree, like something I could, just make like bank, and then just do that, like I guess as the backup plan. Like so, regardless, I should be set, And then I'm thinking maybe won't even like try to be a coach. Also do the graduate assistant, all that fun stuff. But instead, I'll just get a normal job and have like an EYBL team, or just work for some EYBL team and do that. Because then I still got to do all the fun stuff with the players. Hopefully, get all the cool gear. I'll still do that at least while I'm young, as more of like just something for fun on the side is what I'm thinking maybe now.
But yeah, I mean, it seems like you love basketball, so
Yeah, I just love like I love the whole. That's why I like the culture. That's what I like the most. Like that's my favorite part. Like the best mixes. Like I love when they put the fans in the mixes. Like that stuff. Like I just love the culture of basketball. Like the shoes, the fans, the music, the short shorts that like Josh does. Like I walk around my house now. Like my mom's like, she's like, you gotta put your shorts down. Like I do like the one down, one rolled up. I just walk around my house. Like I just love the culture, and that's what I like about basketball.
stick with it, man. Stick with it. You never know.
Yeah, I appreciate it, my guy. Well, anyways, make sure you guys give us a follow on Instagram at Quezada with three L's. I'm at iHoopsFL. And anyways, for the senior video producer for Slam, Christian Quezada, I hope I said that right. I'm Isaac Fleischer, and this has been another iHoopsFL interview. Peace out, guys.
Appreciate it.